Hi, this is Jessie Chu.
And Quinn Wynn, co-founders of Paper Talk. Welcome to Season 4.
We're here to share paper flower journeys, engage with makers and artists, support small creative businesses, and chat about our obsessions. Follow along as we give a voice to and nurture a community of paper florists from around the world.
We are so grateful that you're here. Make sure to hit subscribe and consider supporting us by writing a review.
Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
Hey, Mike.
Hello. Thank you for having me today.
We always love having you on our podcast.
No, I appreciate it. It's always nice to touch base with you.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's been amazing what you've been able to do for our Awesome Blossom students.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, Mike's been able to create these specials for our students to just click and buy, not just crepe paper, but pan pastels as well. So what Quinn and I did was put together a list of materials that the students needed for the Awesome Blossom workshop series. And Mike was able to quickly put together something. I know there was some, tech stuff that he had to test out, but he was so generous with his time trying to put these bundles together so that the students just click and buy and then they have all the materials. So thank you so much for that, Mike.
So much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some technical hurdles there because I had to create these bundles, which isn't something I normally have, but learned a little bit there and I was able to create them. And it did seem to make it very easy for your students, participants to be able to just make one click and purchase everything in one shot. And they were in fact discounted as support for your program.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that discount too, the promo discount. If you guys didn't know, all of our Awesome Blossom students had a discount code offered by Carte Fini. And hopefully they really took advantage of that.
Yes.
You have some amazing products. Tell us a little bit about, do you have any new colors coming in or any kind of new products coming in the next shipment?
Well, I was mentioning earlier that there's, as many people may have heard, that there's a huge supply chain issue with shipping right now. We do have a very large replenishment coming in from Italy. Just got word that there was a little bit delay. There's a gigantic delay in the Los Angeles, Long Beach ports. But hopefully we'll have that within a couple of weeks here and be fully back in stock on everything, which will be a big relief.
Yay!
Just in time for Christmas, as they say. And most of those are all regular colors. There is, I think you probably have heard that Carte Fini, our primary supplier, reformulated some of the colors for some of the greens, which I guess had some issues with fading more so than some other of colors in their line. And they were proactive in addressing it and listening to artists like you saying, is there something to be done? So they did that. And in fact, we're getting those greens in on the shipment. So we'll be fully in stock on all those new color, let's say fade resistant greens.
Yay! That is so exciting to know.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that they'll continue to look at other colors that might have a similar issue and continue to reformulate. One of the nice things about Carte Fini is, the papers are so high quality and they take it very seriously how they process and manufacture their paper. So they don't use, a lot of chemicals that might potentially help keep the colors from fading at times, or certainly water resistant. And the reason for that is because obviously you're using your hands to manipulate these papers. You don't want to have all these chemicals leaching into your hands. So there's obviously a trade-off there. They rarely hear about any issues from the artist, but there are occasionally times when they'll say, well, I wish the color was, a little color fast on this one. At any rate, that's kind of what they're doing. And I'm really happy that they're being proactive in reformulating in order to just continue to make their paper better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We actually spoke with Mr. Rossi a couple weeks back. And yeah, we were thrilled to know that they're so invested in their customers, just like you, Mike. They're so invested in creating good quality, like high quality products, and to really listen to their customers about what we need and what we like, and then being able to really adjust things quite quick. I would say quite quickly, considering like the manufacturing process. So, hearing that you're going to be carrying those more what is it? Light resistant? I don't even know.
I think that's really what they've tried to do is
shade
resistant, I think, is the term that they're trying to use. So whatever, they reformulated the dyes so that they're not as reactive to that kind of an issue.
Yeah. I think it'd be so cool seeing some of our peers do experiments on the greens, seeing like, oh, this old one and then this new one.
Yeah.
New formula, and seeing like what the difference might be.
I'm anxious to hear about it. So about how those compare with the artists that have been using them for so long and the new one.
Do you know if you'll be getting any new colors in the 90 gram?
I haven't heard of that. Although, as we spoke last time, I think it's probably been about a month now. We doubled the line. There were 12 colors of 90, which has been very popular. And now there's 24. So those are all in stock.
Amazing.
Right. And then so that's actually been doing very, very well. You can imagine everybody loves new colors. So, and there's a lot of fun ones in there. So that's been a huge success. So they're obviously committed to that 90 gram line, which has been out for a couple of years, I think now. And it's just a great weight. And some people absolutely love it. That's their go-to, just as the weight that they prefer for whatever creations they make.
Yeah, definitely. I love combining the different weights together to create, because sometimes you just need to make a very full bloom. And when you do a heavy crepe, it just doesn't flow very nice. So when you're able to combine it with a lighter crepe paper with a heavier one, it just adds a fullness without the heavy weight. So thank you so much for making it so available to us in the United States. North America.
North America.
Yeah, I obviously whatever Carte Fini produces, I'm going to carry for the most part, especially within a weight category. So a full line of 60, 90, and 180 are there. There's one other weight that we don't carry, two, I think 40 gram, which is so light. But you never know. That might come into it we might experiment with that a bit. But it's such a lightweight that, I'd be interested to see what an artist might do with that.
I think my comment on that was, if I was to get a 60 or 40, I'd rather get the 60. They're so close, and yet the 40 is so fine that there's no point of me getting both a 60 and a 40.
That's, I think, kind of what we determined quite a while ago. I mean, I mean, in fact, we talked with Carte Fini about, when we were initially setting up our lines, what do you think? And that was their determination too. And there's a place for it. And I think it comes into price point for some purveyors. And I believe probably that maybe I think that was originally really very useful for schools, let's say. So yeah, that has been the determination. And it's so light that it might be very difficult to manipulate as an artist.
Is there anything else you want to share, Mike?
Probably nothing right now. I mean, those are the main things happening. As I said, in the coming weeks and months, there'll be some changes. Plus, I've been taking your advice on the supplies, because I really want to increase that. And actually, I've been having a huge problem getting in the stem wire. My supplier dried up on that one, so I've got to try to find that. I mean, I don't know if you're having that issue, but I'm seeing that everywhere. Trying to get online, trying to get a supplier.
You should just go to the downtown Los Angeles floral district and buy your wires there. Seriously? From Oasis. Yeah.
Well, I have to go there, or can I?
You can order it. Yeah, and they'll have it shipped to you. Oasis or Floral Supply Syndicate.
Okay.
You should definitely check it out.
Do they have them packaged? Do they have them packaged in consumer packages, like 12 wires to a package, or is it like bulk?
You have some, but
that's been the problem. I mean, I could buy these huge 144, but what do I do with that? I would have to package it. I like the little prepackaged one.
Yeah, and then it has a SKU on it and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I know. I had it. I finally found a supplier that I could buy, and then all of a sudden they said discontinued. I'm like, okay, got to find another.
No. Yeah. I can't comment about that because I don't buy enough wholesale.
Well, no, but do you buy retail? Do you buy that do you buy it yourself?
I do, and I buy. Let me see. I've got like a stash of.
Maybe you buy it in bulk too. Maybe you buy.
Yeah, I did buy. I did buy some in bulk.
And
I did.
Maybe I should. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should carry, but that's so much,
Well, it's a lot of work for you. No, it's so like a box is like, in Canadian, it's like $30. It's nothing, but there's thousands in there. The only thing is like the time for you to like pack them out.
Repack it.
Yeah, exactly.
What I'm saying is, would I buy like a big box for someone to purchase as a bit? But I don't think that's worth it. It's just too much. It would be a very small.
It's really heavy.
It's
really heavy to ship.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a good idea. I'm just saying that I continue to run into these issues. Fortunately, and I actually need to place an order from Dunkin'. You finally hooked me up there. I appreciate that.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
So that was easy once you figured. I don't know what happened there, but they've been very easy since. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the list of adhesives, and I think I'm just going to send you like a screenshot and say, do you recommend, are these all good? Or are there any I'm missing? How's that? Would you help me out with that? Okay.
Yeah, totally.
And also I'm going to be able to get the spray adhesive that just to make it great.
No, there's a lot of people who want to use it now.
I know. That's why I've been putting it off launching this whole thing, because I wanted to have both things. I wanted to have the webbing, and I wanted to have that so they could have both. And then I also had to put together some kind of a bundling thing, which your thing has helped me out with that. So now I'll be able to maybe do all that.
Oh yeah. Now with the experience. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole nother animal when it comes to my shop, how to have people go to a page and then create their little bundle. And that's what I'm going to do. And
that's going to be awesome.
I just didn't want to do it too soon, because I don't want it to be piecemeal. I want it to be a big launch. And then people are like, oh, this is great. I can create my little kit, my little doublet kit.
Yes.
So that's what's happening with that. So, obviously when that happens, I'll give you the word, and maybe we can do another podcast or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we would love to share it on our Facebook group. We honestly, I think like every week we get like questions about how to use, like how to create it.
Yes.
What are you talking about fusible webbing, or what are you talking about like
lamination?
Like
what is that?
Lamination. It's like the natural knit.
I know, it's all these terms. Yeah. So that's why I wanted the video so much, to show people exactly how it was done.
Yeah.
Which you did a great job. And then have it link directly to, where they can go through all the colors, pick the colors and the webbing or the spray. Yeah. And it creates a kit, and I send it out.
Yeah. I think it's going to be great. Yeah. Well, we're excited for you. Like once you set that up, like send over whatever the link.
No, it's going to be big. And now, like I said, I'm kind of mad at myself for taking so long, but I've been struggling with the supplies and also just the trying to get it, how to set up the store to make it easy for people to pick and choose what they want. I mean, the exciting, it's like, okay, I need a webbing, a couple pieces of this, and then I get to pick my colors I want for my double A. That's the exciting part.
Yeah, it is. So, it's going to be really cool. Yeah. Can't wait, because when you're ready to launch, let us know. We'll share it on our blogs and on our Facebook group and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be really awesome.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. So I guess we cut off where we cut off before the lawn guy.
Dog barking.
Should we just say thank you?
Did you still want to do that app thing?
Yes, we do. Mike, thank you so much for updating our followers what's going on with Carte Fini. Before we head off, can you tell us what's your favorite app that you love to use right now?
Well, I think the one I use the most, and I think that I really like and I think is well done, is actually my Shopify app, which is the platform I use for my business, for a shopping cart. I think it's just such a well done. Well, it's a well done platform, but the app is really well done as well. So I certainly am on that the most, and I really like how it works.
Oh, that's
kind of boring, but there you have it.
No. I mean, you're running a commerce site. Like, you need something that is reliable, that you can access and actually like see what's going on and keep track
easy
of things.
To use.
Yeah, all the time. So you're talking about the one on your phone?
Yeah. I mean, I'm on that. Yeah, it updates me. It alerts me. And there's actually, I think they're just introducing some kind of program where you can chat with your customers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the first reaction is, oh boy, would I just be inundated all day long? But I try to keep a pretty personal touch with my business. And I certainly think it might be worth trying, where if people have a question, they're not necessarily waiting for an email. They can just text, and all of a sudden I can respond right there. So we're going to see what happens there. But I think that would be integrated into the app, certainly, and be another useful piece to interact with my customers and visitors.
Cool.
Wonderful. Yeah. I love that you're always improving your customer service and just your store experience with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to make it better. I'm going to try to, in the coming months, improve some of the ways that you can shop so that it's easier. As the line has grown in over the years to where I don't want people to be frustrated with, trying to find the color they want. So I want to add some features like maybe shop by color. I think that's a great way to do it, where you can tag, I just want greens, and it shows you all the greens in one page instead of trying to find. And they're side by side. We're also in the process of rephotographing all the paper, because I think some of the images over the years have not been as true as they are. You'll never be exact because everyone's screen resolution is different and those kinds of issues. But I certainly think we can get closer to that, and so that it's easier for people to understand what the colors are and maybe have some kind of reference point. So those are a few things coming up.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, you absolutely are always trying to improve your customer experience. That's why we love working with you, Mike.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm blushing.
Yeah.
Hello, it's Jessie and Quinn again. You guys, it's almost going to be Black Friday again. So one of the biggest topics we want to talk about this for today is, I hope you guys already have your Black Friday plan or marketing strategy in place, because it is around the corner. If you haven't, I think 2 weeks is actually a good amount of time for you to start putting the word out and also kind of thinking about what you're going to be doing for Black Friday sale. Let me talk about what I'm doing. So this year I'm changing it up quite a bit because COVID has thrown us a huge curve, and imports, delay on supplies has been a real struggle for a lot of suppliers. Second, delivering things has become such a headache. Stories I've been hearing left and right from, creators trying to send things out, things getting lost, things not being taken care of when they get delivered to you. And the really big thing is delays. One really important thing, you guys, if you want to have your stuff delivered to the client by Christmas, did you know that the United States Postal Office is recommending November 29th as the last day to send out your Christmas presents? I'm like blown away. That's like 2 weeks earlier.
So crazy.
I know, before they even recommended the years before. So
are they essentially recommending that people do their Christmas shopping during Black Friday? Like the Thanksgiving holiday, or Thanksgiving holiday for you guys?
Pretty much. And the crazy thing, I'm already seeing Black Friday offerings in my email box right now that people are like, hey, we're doing Black Friday early. And
that is what they're suggesting to do, because people are bombarded by Black Friday emails and sales all around that time. And there's just too much noise, right? There's so much noise that people, they don't even go into your email. They just like delete, and they're overwhelmed. They don't know what to buy. They don't know what to choose. Everything doesn't, like, nothing looks special.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of marketers are suggesting that you start early in November and do pre-sales, or just do your early Black Friday sale and just skip the whole Black Friday. Yeah.
Enjoy your holidays this year. I feel like people are getting vaccinated and people are definitely hanging out and they're putting family first. And I think that's the really important thing is, like, to be honest, you guys, I've already done my Christmas shopping. And it's a little bit different. And I can't say it because my family does listen to this podcast. So I will not be telling you what I put together for them. But I did purchase something, and it did take a lot longer than I anticipated. I ordered it back in October. I finally just got it.
Oh, wow.
And it took like 3 weeks to get to me. And it was
that is a long time. Yeah.
And the thing is, I ordered it through Amazon.
Oh, no.
And it still took me that long, you guys. So think about what will happen with the holiday rush. It's going to be even more back order. So something to really consider. And this year, I'm actually not going to be doing my holiday boxes. It was a huge hit last year, and I was like blown away by all the sales that I did receive and all the comments that people love the box. And already people are messaging me like, are you doing it again? And I hate to say this, I am not going to be doing my holiday box because imports, supplies, people are not giving me the numbers that I need to be able to package myself, my boxes. And so it's just a huge headache and something that if I wanted to do and really have thought about, I should have done it back in June and just order it because you guys heard about the imports down in Los Angeles. There's like 60, 70 import ships just waiting in the harbor area trying to get unloaded because there's not enough workers to unload everything. There's not enough trucks to like ship everything out and deliver things. It's just a huge headache. And I've been so stressed out by this year. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to put myself in this stress. So one thing that I was like, how do I bring extra income in? I do have a lot of digital tutorials in my archive. And so maybe this is the time where I actually open it up and give you guys a really great discount on these tutorials. So you guys, if you've been wanting to learn how to do a peony or a rose or a pumpkin or mushrooms, they will be on sale for my Black Friday sale. So that's what I will be doing. How about you, Jessie? What are you going to be doing?
I don't do Black Friday sales.
Even better, you guys. No stress whatsoever.
I've never done one, and I don't think I intend to do one. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of sales. I usually only do one sale, and that's when I launch my online, usually just online. And that's about it. But I mean, there's a lot of reasons for that. One is we don't really have Black Friday here. So the hype and stuff, I really don't feel it around me. And two, part of it is also just me not thinking ahead. And I know I should think more ahead, but I don't because it's just not been in my planning yet. I do recommend you guys to plan ahead. If you guys do intend to find like perfect dates for sales to happen, great timing for sales without making it seem like you're devaluing your products because everyone else, it's like a special day. Let's celebrate. I think it's a perfect time to do a sale. But yeah, it takes timing. It takes like planning. And I've just never really, I don't know. I don't know. I've just never like had the urge to sell it. I guess maybe that's why. I don't know. Later on, I might do something more and be more on the ball with my calendars. But yeah, no, honestly, I think sometimes you can do like flash sales, right? Where it's like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do it. But those still take like effort to promote, right? Like if you're going to have a sale, you can't just be like, hey, I'm having a sale, guys. No, you got to blast it or else what's the point? Right? So I think that part of it is the same thing with Black Friday sales. You would have to like leading up to it. It's like another launch. And I've just not have the mind space for that.
Yeah, it takes so much energy because not only, let's talk about the marketing part of this.
Yeah.
So you have to create graphics. It's not your typical put your regular post up and put your sale. A lot of people, they just like an image. They don't go in and read your posts. So that's something to think about. If you're doing a Black Friday sale, throw it on the image saying you're having a sale because people are just scrolling. That's a big thing. And then also think about how you're utilizing your newsletter, email list, because with Facebook or MetaVision is what they're calling it now. What if Facebook or Instagram stop working? And that's your usual platform to advertise to your followers. How are you going to get that word out? Your email list is your fallback plan, or it should be continuously. And Jessie, I have to say your posts about your email newsletter, about your floral notes, I think that's such a wonderful thing about how you can curate. And people, I love the comments. Like people, I read it.
I know.
It's so good.
It's so heartwarming to know that people actually read it. Yes. Oh my gosh. And then whenever like you receive a reply from someone, you're like, oh my God, they actually read it.
Exactly, because, at the very bottom, you took that hit reply.
Yeah. It is.
So
And you know what? You'll be surprised at who reads your newsletters. And because people don't reply, you don't know. But you'll be surprised at who does and who cares. And yeah, like, don't forget about them. I actually think it also depends on like your personality. Like I'm more of I like being more intimate because I like smaller groups. I'm just generally not a huge fan of like going to like big places with a lot of people. I find that that's not where my energy is. So, and Instagram to me sometimes is like that. It's kind of like there's so many people and you kind of got to stand out in the crowd. But with newsletter lists, though, it's different because you're creating your own friends in a way. People sign up because they want to know what you're doing. Like they want to know. That's why they sign up. And they're like, you know what, email me. So don't be afraid to email them and don't undersell yourself. Don't doubt that people who are going to receive your email want to hang on to your every word because they do. Yeah. But the most important thing, too, it's kind of reciprocal, right? So even though they gave you their email, you can't just like spam them. You have to give them something authentic. You have to give them something with a value. And that value could just be you pouring your heart out to them. But it has to be meaningful. It has to be consistent. And it has to be, I always want to say authentic because I find that the marketing, it can be very easy for it to be markety. Yes. And nowadays, if you subscribe to a lot of the creators, sometimes you can tell where the marketing comes in. And you know what? You need to sell your art. So that's fair. But in between those marketing emails, like have something in there where it's like, hey, this is me. This is what's going on. This is my backstory. You may or may not want to reach out to them and say like, hey, reply or respond. But usually when you tell a story that's meaningful in your newsletter, people do respond. So for Black Friday, it's not just about Black Friday. You've got the day before is Thanksgiving. So talk about Thanksgiving, talking about your family, like those emotional things are authentic and they're true and everyone can relate to it. So talk about that and then talk about, you're a small business. The truth is every dollar that you earn from this, every product you sell is to support your family and support your community essentially. So why not talk about that? Everyone can relate to it. But don't discount your newsletter list. I think it's much more powerful than Instagram. You already have a really warm, perhaps hot audience as well. Yes. They're just waiting for you to give them something that they look at and they're like, you know what, that's what I want.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. And I also have to say, find a really wonderful, quiet, happy moment on your time of day and write this out. Don't do it when you're distracted or busy. It's going to make a good newsletter. And also let it sit and then look at it again the next day, reread it and find, go through your grammar, make sure all the sentence, there's not fragment sentence. And it's just your opportunity to like polish it up. But the first time you're doing it, just dump everything out or all your emotion, your thoughts, and then just let it simmer and sit and then repolish it again the next day. I always find that the next day I'm like, oh, I could add a little bit more and it makes it a little bit better. So give yourself a little space and time when you're creating the newsletter because it is a little piece of our heart, our mind, of what we're going through. And I love that you share that with your audience so much. And that reminds me, I need to get my newsletter back up again.
It really
so busy.
I know it's so easy for it to fall off of the bandwagon. And one way to do it, is if you've, create blogs, and I know you create blogs, every newsletter, there's a blog that's of value. That's something that your audience is going to be interested in and kind of push yourself that way. Exactly. You're creating SEO opportunities, but you're also sharing it with, well, of course, your audience. And there's value in that too. Yeah. But yeah, those are and that's the thing, those are the monthly or weekly newsletters. We're not even talking about the marketing part where if you are leading up to Black Friday, you're talking about slowly warming your audience up, right? So you're going to have more than just one email saying, hey, I'm having a Black Friday sale. You'll probably have emails before that. And the build up really is up to you. What are you trying to sell? Is it one product? Maybe kind of like what we did for Awesome Blossom was we introduced each of the flowers.
Yes.
Because we all love flowers. It's a really good way to introduce your audience to what you're doing, the behind the scenes, parts and pieces of what you're selling. And I think the story just comes together. It it really like keeps people's attention. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I think there's so many ways to kind of determine what that marketing funnel is going to look like. What are those emails going to look like? But I definitely think you need to like, first of all, you need to let people know that you're doing it, because if they don't know and they're hit with it the last minute, how many people are you going
it's too cold.
It's too cold. And honestly, you know, like we all get busy. So the email might be sitting in their inbox, but they don't get to it until 2 or 3 days later. And by then, maybe your sale's over. So I think you kind of need to be a little bit more consistent closer to the date. And like I said, honestly, if it's something you're creating is true to you, authentic, it's beautiful, we're creating beautiful art, all of your followers are going to want to see and read your email. Even if they don't buy, they just want to see the images, you know, so take beautiful pictures of your products. But as you warm them up, like, it's like, it's so important to have beautiful product images, use Canva. Like when you were saying, like Canva has all these beautiful templates.
So good.
And have them like all kind of look cohesive. So everyone who sees it on your newsletter is primed for it. They see it on your IG account story. Oh my God, those colors. It looks familiar. That image. Oh yeah. And then they see it again on Facebook. It's just reinforcing and keeping your sale on the top of people's minds. I think that's the only way you're going to stand out nowadays because of all that noise.
Yeah, exactly. And use Canva, you guys. If you use the search function, if you just type in like smooth lines, you're going to be so surprised on what smooth line really means. And there's like minimus, if you want to do floral notes, botanical lines. Those are some key searches that I use all the time, just to make sure that when I do my Canva images, my graphics, that I'm adding a little bit of floral notes to it, botanical notes to it. And so it's really great and so easy to use. So if you're actually stuck, one platform I really love to use and get inspiration from is creativemarket.com. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, you need to check it out. They have these beautiful curated graphic designers that actually makes all these amazing templates. You can buy it for really inexpensive. And they do have sales sometimes, and grab them because they're such a great way to be inspired and say, I love that format. And the hard part for a lot of us is like, we look at a blank slate and we're like, you don't know where to start. And sometimes when you start with a template, it gets your creative juices flowing and you're like, okay, I can jump from this point and move on to that and make it more of my personality in there by adding your color, adding your fonts, just adding things that you usually love and making it just yours. So that way, that template that they're selling to thousands of people, it's not going to look like a cookie cutter.
Yeah. I was just thinking, as you were talking about that, how we talk to a lot of our peers a lot. And I remember in one of our mentoring sessions, somebody had asked about what do they do with all of their old products. So old paper flowers or paper flowers that they were practicing, you know, their first, second, or third go at flower. What can they do about it? What can they're lying around. Can I sell them? And during Paper to Profits, we had talked about this too, as it's a really great way to sell them off, make a couple bucks, but it's also a great way because you're doing it specifically for a sale. So you can't, it's not like, oh, a regular day, I'm going to just discount these, because then you face the problem of, wait, do I want to discount all of my art? Do I want to appear that I'm willing to discount at any time, any place, because it's not valued as much as other people's art? And I think having like these predetermined, typical sale days are a great way of saying, no, hey, I'm selling these. I normally don't, but because of this special day, I'm doing it. So it's kind of like a good excuse in a way, excuse where you can kind of lay that excuse on a predetermined sales day, as opposed to just you making up a sales day and saying, hey, you know, take my art. And instead you're saying, just once a year, this is the only time I'm going to do a sale. I'm going to sell these products at X amount discount. No one needs to know. No one needs to know that they are your first or second, third tries. But if you do want to share that, that's also a really good way to sell it, by telling them that I'm discounting them because they are my first or second or third try, and not having to essentially maintain that perceived value of the rest of your art. I think it's a really good excuse, a good way to sell them without actually saying, you know what, I'm willing to just get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great tip.
But yeah, I remember we had a lot of people wondering, what are we going to do with all these flowers sitting here? So let's talk quickly about for Black Friday sales. Like typically, what type of discount do you give, or what kind of products do you normally sell during Black Friday?
I always gear it toward the holidays. So Christmas is around the corner. So what can I give to my followers that want to make more paper flowers? Because that's what I do. I make paper flowers. So you can definitely think about, do I teach them how to do a holiday flower like a poinsettia, a mistletoe, or, roses? Roses are always a big hit for the holidays. Another thing you can do is if you're catering toward the people that already have brought all your tutorials, you can always sell them supplies. So your special Kai scissors, get them personalized. I think that'll be something really fun to kind of give to your special craft friends. Because scissors is more than just paper flowers. It's your sewing scissors. It's your craft scissors to do all sorts of really wonderful things. And Kai scissors, not to toot their horn, but they do have just like dozens and dozens of different types of scissors for specific tools. And they also, if you have a bread making friend, they have beautiful sharp razors that you can use to cut your dough to make all those really cool designs. So that's something that's really cool to think about, is how can you step it up a notch on your tools? How can you repurpose it in a different way? Because you've been selling it, over and over. It's like, it's for paper flowers. But really, if you think about it, the tools is more than just cutting paper. It could cut fabric. It could cut plastic. It could cut so many different things. So how can you turn around and reach a bigger audience? So that's something to think about, is like really put out a different hat and think about, if I wasn't a paper artist, how could I use this tool to do something different? Because, crepe paper originally was done for piñatas. And so think about that. It's a completely different medium and something to like promote and share. And sometimes when you're getting tired of paper flowers, do something that's a little bit different. And I think I love what Yang has been doing is, or even Sarah, they have been doing fruits, which is completely different from flowers. So sometimes switching mediums, switching topics of what you're making will actually get your creative juices flowing and back again.
So what I hear from you is your suggestion is like different types, maybe a special edition just for Black Friday or something to get them ready for Christmas. Not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be a discount on the pricing. It could just be a special, at this point, here's like something special that I do every year, or just something that is special for this time period, like for a short time period. That's what's available.
Yep. Because this is your opportunity where everyone is in the shopping mode. They're trying to find great Christmas presents for their loved ones or their friends. And if you can offer something that's a limited edition, they're like, oh, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I need. So make sure you try on being a consumer and not always the creator to make something that will fit what they want.
Yeah. So interesting. I'm pretty sure everyone remembers what they bought on Black Friday, because it's one of those, either it's a really good deal or something special, right?
Yes, exactly. Or you've been eyeing it, because usually Black Friday for us means all the techs. So if you need the computer or a new TV, which we're in the market for finally, our TV is like almost 15 years old.
Oh my God.
I know it's I think only 42 inches. And it's so crazy to me. It's like 85 inches your norm. I was like, oh, that's so huge. It's like going to be double our size, but we're not going to go that large. We're thinking maybe a 65. But that's usually on our shopping list. And so I always gravitate toward digital products because that's super fun. And then I always think about what are my usual staples that I usually have, because usually those goes on sale. And it was so interesting. Let me just bring this topic up real quick. So this is something my friend and I were talking about, is we usually don't buy regular price at these particular brands: Banana Republic, Gap, Old Navy, and Anthropologie. Because they always put things on sale. So if you're the patient one and you can wait it out, it's going to be marked down a good 30, 40, 60, half % off. So being patient is always, a good value thing if you are a bargain shop hunter. So for me, those brands are always like, I don't buy it full price because I know it's going to be marked down.
It's true. It is so true.
And the thing is, do you want to, if you're an entrepreneur, do you want to fall in that trap where people are always patiently waiting, or do you leverage it? So when you sell your product, you mark it up high, and then you throw those sales in and you market the way that you want to get those sales. So think about how you can turn that around and make it work for yourself.
Yeah. Such a great conversation we have here about Black Friday. I can't wait to see how people are promoting their Black Friday sales and Christmas too, since shipping apparently has to go out by the end of November.
Exactly. And you guys, since we're talking about holidays, you guys, Valentine is less than 3 months away. If you're thinking about targeting, if you're going to just skip the holidays, Valentine's Day is also a big sales day for paper flowers because roses, special days, the love day. So think about how you can really leverage that and start preparing for it now if you're too late to come to the holiday one, because November 29th is coming up really, really soon. All right, you guys, good luck with your sale. If you need any advice, DM us. We're always here for you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Paper Talk. Today's episode is sponsored by our patrons, Elaine Lim, Moria Van White, Renee McDowell, Jennifer Desplantes, Robin, Bonnie Slipper, Laura Wheely, Martha Tokus, Nina, Linda Drysdale, Lucinda, and Tina Proctor. We appreciate your donation, and we're excited to keep creating content for our paper flower community. If you're interested in supporting us, head on over to our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/papertalk and sign up as a patron. We would love to see you there.